It's Simone, aka Money Mo here, and we are back. We're on live, okay. And shout out to Player Society with the shirt. Black for Black History Month. It's February, okay. I had to represent Black History Month, okay. But um, not really. We really ain't missed a lot on the WNBA side. We'll get to that later. Um, a lot has happened since I last seen you guys. We had All Star Weekend in LA for the NBA. Let's talk about that in a hot second after I go through the rundown. Unrivaled playoffs, March 2nd. It's that time of year again. The best time of year for Unrivaled because honestly, I love the playoff format. And it's also more of like a more competitive edge because it's kind of like a you win one game, then you go home. So like they're playing hard from the get go. And on top of that, too, just from last season, you never know who's going to win. Because last year, I honestly thought the Lunar Owls was going to win it. Turns out the Vinyl and the Rose were in the championship, and the Rose took home the chip. Okay. So this year for Unrivaled playoffs, wait, we got to talk about All Star flicks. What you got to ask me about NBA All Star? I feel like you got to ask me something before I get into the real stuff. Okay.
I thought Unrivaled All Star was pretty fun. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. 1-on-1 tournament.
Yeah, the one-on-one tournament was cool. That's always good. And Chelsea Gray, the point guard campaign, the point guard campaign. We was spot on with that. We did have the Grays in the final round, and the point guard took it off. And that was a really good matchup because like they were really going hard. They were really going hard. And another matchup I felt like in that whole one-on-one tournament that was really exciting to me was the battle of the Kelseys because they were both left-handed. They both have similar styles of play, but one is just like an emphasis on quick speed downhill, and Kelsey, and then the other Kelsey change of pace, the master of using her body to finish. And I think that was a really good matchup. And then I like Aaliyah Boston's play in that one-on-one tournament. I was really surprised at how she was able to get so deep in the one-on-one tournament. But yeah, it was really good. I really liked this one-on-one tournament. Like I think Aaliyah Boston was the one that surprised me, just like how Aaliyah Edwards did last season. And I feel like it's like I said before, last season, like those dynamic bigger guards are like posts that's kind of like stretching the floor, like the stretch. I call them the stretch tweeners. Those are the I think that's the direction of where basketball is going. Like it doesn't matter how big or small you are, if you know how to handle the ball, if you have a versatile skill set, you're going to be a dynamic no matter who you go up against. And I think that's where basketball is going. And I love it. And I think in the W, it's getting picked up faster. Okay. But I knew Chelsea Gray was going to win the one-on-one. I knew the point guard. I'm on the point guard campaign. I have her running. I have her for MVP too. Like I'm gonna vote for her for MVP as well. Like, and I think if she doesn't win MVP, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kelsey Plum either, because Kelsey Plum is having a year. She's having a year in her debut year in Unrivaled, you know. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get into playoffs for Unrivaled. So Unrivaled, we have round one on Saturday and then round two Monday, and the championship game will be on Wednesday. Okay. So here are the rankings. Okay. We have the Phantom sitting at the number one seed. We have the Mist at two. We have the Laces at three, the Breeze at four, Rose at five, and sitting in that number six spot, we have Vinyl. Okay. So let's just assume that they're going to do 1-6, 2-5, 3-4. Okay. So in that Phantom versus Vinyl matchup, Flicks, who you got winning that one? I have Phantom.
Mm, I think the parity between 1 and 6 is like very close.
Yeah, it's very close. And I think it's very close because of the talent pool that Unrivaled has, right? And just because one just because the six they're at number six, that doesn't mean they are a six seed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of these seedings are kind of faulty because just because the team is at number six, they're just as capable of beating the number one. But I honestly think the Phantom is going to take that game just because Kelsey Plum is playing at a very high level. Aaliyah Boston, very high level. Kiki Ephraim has been doing her stuff. And then you also have Tip Harris back. You have Natasha Cloud, very versatile, very big, and they show up and they handle business. So all the way around, I don't see them. I don't see no one stopping them for that first round, in my opinion. But in order for the Vinyl to fight through and make and pull off the upset, they need a big game from Ray Burrell. And honestly, the past couple games, Ray Burrell has been hooping. Hooping. Hashtag hooping. She has been very dynamic, and I feel like just her play in the W, she's been under the radar, and I don't know why. I don't know why. She could slash she could shoot the jumper. She's long. She plays defense, and she could block the shot. She's very dynamic, and I think in order for the Vinyl to pull the upset, Ray Burrell has to have a game. She has to have a game. And then I also liked when there was trades this season that the Vinyl picked up Sanaya Rivers, and I think she will be a very key piece as well because she brings a level for on the defensive end for Vinyl that could obviously, kind of slow down Kelsey Plum. Because I don't want to say stop because let's be realistic, no one's going to stop Kelsey Plum. But I think Sanaya Rivers, when she's in the game, she could contain. You know what I mean? That's what I think. That's what I think for that matchup. But for that matchup, I got Phantom winning it. Okay, so let's get into 2 and 5. Let's get into that. Let's get into Mist and the Rose. Um, that's going to be a really good matchup because like I said, I'm on the Chelsea Gray, aka Point Guard campaign. That's what I'm on. But the Mist have been playing really great basketball. Flicks, who do you have for that one?
I mean, I'm always gonna pick the Rose. It's just a tough matchup. We saw Chelsea Gray, Alicia Gray go head to head for the one-on-one tournament, so
Mm-hmm.
be another matchup between them. And you add Stewie into the mix, so
And she's been playing great.
it
She's
could be a
been
pretty
playing
good
great
matchup between the
basketball.
two teams. It's probably gonna come down to health. Honestly, who can play the longest? Who can play the whole game? Really.
I agree. And then at the same time, too, I think it's going to come down to the teams using their strengths. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the Mist is very versatile, but like I feel like once they're hot, no one's stopping them. So I think in order for the Mist to win against the Rose, they have to be shooting at least 40% from the three. And it's doable because they have 3-point shooters. They have Gray, they have Stewart, they have a walking bucket in Erika Gumawale. They have capable players. And then they have great defensive players in Veronica Burton. So I think in order for the Mist to win, they have to be aggressive on offense. They have to be aggressive on offense. They have to. And then when they're in that matchup against the Rose, they have to attack the weak link on defense. Because honestly, there's really no real weak link on defense for the Rose, but there is a weak link. Because the thing is, in 3-on-3, it's not. It's like I feel like it's a couple components for defense, right? You have to just have that dog. You got to have this mental thing in your head to where like you're not going to let nobody go around because if they go around you, you got help, but at the same time, somebody's going to be open. And all these players are very smart and very capable of making the right read, right? And then at the same time, too, you got to know who you can and can't help off of. And 3-on-3, it's a real ball players know if you do 3-on-3 shell, that's a lot of court to cover. That's a lot of court to cover. So I think that will be the key. And I think for the Rose, honestly, the point guard just got to put her team on her back and do what she do. And I think for them, in order for them to beat the Miss, they can't be like discouraged if the Miss gets up on them early because I've seen stints where like the Miss goes up on teams early, and they make a lot of high quality shots. And once, like I said, once they're on fire, they're on fire. There's no stopping it. So I think for the Rose to win, they need Kalia Copper to help with the point guard. They need big games from their bigs. They need big games from Reese and Shakira Austin. They need really big games from them. And I think that will be the key for them to take down the Mist. But in all reality, even though I'm on the point guard campaign, I gotta go with the Mist Flicks. I got to. That's the one where we not agreeing on right there.
I mean, I think our the one of the most underrated players in this matchup has got to be Angel Reese in her return. So I think
Underrated. I don't think underrated. What you mean by
we haven't
underrated?
spoken about her, and I mean, honestly, she's probably the player that makes or break this team because you got Chelsea Gray, Kalia Copper. I'm expecting them to fill it up. But
You
if
didn't hear me
Angel
just
Reese
say.
can put out another 2020 performance, I
Wait,
think
wait,
my
wait.
Rose
You
got
didn't
it.
hear me when I said that the Rose need big games from their bigs, Reese and Shakira Austin. Like I said, they need big games from her.
So if Reese come out and do the 2020, it's curtains.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they need big games from both the bigs because the Miss has size too, and they have Elena Smith, they have Brianna Stewart, and they have Yee. They have size. So I'm saying like those two have to have really big games to make the difference because honestly, the Rose and the Miss match up on the perimeter. Like Veronica Burton is a defensive stopper. They have, Chelsea Gray gonna get down and play defense. Kalia Copper, they're gonna get down and play defense. Like they're match up evenly on the perimeter. I think I think outside of if the Miss aren't making shots, like it's all gonna go down to the post play. That's just what I think. That's just what I think. But like I said, I got the Miss winning that one. You got the Rose. Okay, cool. Boom. We haven't disagreed in a while. So okay, we'll see how that goes. Um, Last but not least, okay, we got 3 versus 4, Laces versus Breeze. Honestly, that's gonna be a really fun matchup. The OGs versus the young and turned. The OGs versus the young and turned, honestly. And I think in that matchup, it's gonna be very close, but I'm going with the Laces. I'm going with Laces. Who you going with, Flicks?
Hmm. I mean, the Breeze have a cool team, but this doesn't look like it translates to wins. Honestly, I don't think the Breeze get out of this one. But I am interested to see what Alyssa Thomas does. She's kind of been quiet throughout this whole Unrivaled period. It's probably a good time to step
She's
it
the
up in the
machine.
playoffs.
She's the machine. She's the reason that team goes. She makes. I feel like with players like Alyssa Thomas, she doesn't need to have a crazy number type of game for her to make an impact. Her leadership, her presence, her facilitating is more than enough. But since you're saying like the star power, the Laces got star power and they got buckets. Jackie Young, Brittany Sykes has been hooping too. I done seen her in like some MVP conversations with like some of the commentators. She's been hooping, getting buckets and get it down on defense. And like I don't think people understand Slim's bag is defense. Defense first. Matter of fact. You know what I mean? And another player that has surprised me with the Laces is Nas Hillman. Hooping, hooping. I could tell she's been in that gym working on her game. Like the perimeter play, her putting the ball on the ground, getting to the basket. I already know she's a rebounding machine. I feel like the Big Ten girlies, they gonna rebound. They gonna rebound. That's their game. The Big Ten girlies, I feel like their reputation is rebounding. So she's mastered that. I feel like her game is getting more complete after each season because she's putting in that work. And I think in order for the Laces to make a big impact, they need big play from Nas Hillman. That's who I think that X factor is for the Laces Basketball Club is Nas Hillman. Because you know what you're going to get out of Jordan Canada. You know what you're going to get out of Lisa Thomas. You know what you're going to get out of Jackie Young. You know what you're going to get from Slim. Nas Hillman, you know what you're going to get really. But I feel like for her, depending on the game plan and depending on who they're facing in the scout, she may have to step it up in more areas than others. You know what I mean? Like, with Nas Hillman, she going to play hard. She going to give you some. She gonna rebound. She gonna get the putbacks. But I think in order for them to win, she got to take advantage of certain matchups. But like I said, I know I got the Laces winning that one, but let's not forget about the Breeze. The Breeze, young and turn, they're fun to watch. They have size. And let's just go back to they're fun to watch. And you're like, Simone, what do you mean they're fun to watch? Paige Beckers, Rakia Jackson, Cam Brink, Dom, Kate Martin, like they're fun to watch. And they play so relaxed. They play so relaxed. And the one player on that team, Paige Beckers, facilitates her own shot, helps her teammates get shots. She just in that mid-range bag, she's kind of like a Carmelo Anthony when it comes to that mid-range game because she knows how to set that defender up. Then 1-2 dribbles, pull up in her spot, knock down. You might as well just get the ball out the net. Everybody just run back down. Just get the ball out the net. Okay. And then we've been seeing a really good play from Rakia Jackson. Rakia Jackson just does it all, a big dynamic guard. And I think in order for the Breeze to pull off the upset against the Laces, they need really big games from Rakia Jackson and Paige Beckers because that bucket combo is very dynamic and is very lethal. But they're going up against experience and they're going up against players that's not really phased by that. So we'll see how that goes. But before I get off that, I just want to give a shout out to the bigs on the Breeze Basketball Club, Cam Brink and Big Don. They play so well together, and I think playing in this league, they're learning more of defensive concepts. They're they're embracing their defensive roles and blocking shots, and I just love the growth. I love the growth and in the perimeter play. And Dom out here dunking. She dunked a couple times in a couple games. Love to see it. I had to shout them out for that. But y'all got my picks. Be sure to tune in on Saturday for round one. And then don't forget round two Saturday, round one, round two on Monday, and then championship on Wednesday. Okay. All right. Let's get into the CBA stuff. Do you guys think anything has changed? No. The only thing that has changed is that the W is telling everybody, okay, we need to figure something out before March 10th so we can um have a season. And it's just kind of interesting because the only thing they have to do is just give the players what they want. Team ownerships are finally in the profit square or circle. How hard is it to give the players that's keeping this league going the money and the stuff they deserve? And they're asking for basic stuff, you guys. Like I want you guys to understand how basic the items are they're asking. They are asking for pensions, meaning once they retire, they're good. Healthcare. A lot of these women are mothers. You know what I mean? They're asking for basic stuff. So if there is no season this year, we're going to blame the W. Boo, boo, tomatoes, tomatoes. I'm going to just leave it at that. Because the players don't need to do nothing on their end. They need to just hold their ground. It's the W that's playing games right now. And it's funny that we even talking about this because like for the Sparks, because we're based out in Los Angeles. I was like, let me sign up for the Ticket 5-pack. Flicks, the representative has been calling me the past couple days. I've been ducking and dodging the call. And I'm ducking and dodging the call because I'm not going to talk numbers or dollars amount if I don't know if there's going to be a season. I'm not going to put in money for seats if there's no season. Makes no sense. I might leave the representative voicemail, say I might get back to you after March 10th. Because y'all not getting no money out of me until y'all take care of these ladies. And like I said, stop interacting with the WNBA page. I understand it's Black History Month and they're representing our OGs and our girlies, but they're not doing the current ladies right. Interact with the Players Association page, okay? And if we have any updates And if I feel like I want to talk about them, I'll pop back on live and talk to y'all. But thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all watch it, share it, like, subscribe, check out our other content, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Mo